Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into a literary universe that's really like nothing else. Gabriel García Márquez's 100 Years of Solitude.
Absolutely. It's more than just a novel, isn't it? It's kind of the cornerstone of Latin American magical realism, a huge influence.
Yeah, totally. And it still shapes how we even think about telling stories.
It really does. And inside that, that huge family saga and the world of Macondo, there's this incredible look at being human, at memory, and just time.
Exactly. So today, we're not just giving you a plot summary. We want to dig into the Buendía story, find the really fascinating bits, and understand why it hits so hard, even now.
Right. This deep dive, it's about getting to the core of the book, how Garcia Marquez mixes the totally fantastical with everyday life.
And how that blend explores these big themes like time being circular, memory, fate, all that.
So our mission, you could say, is to pull out the most important nugget from this really complex work, give you a clear sense of what it's about and why it still matters so much.
Okay, so let's start at the start. The beginning of Macondo. That means José Arcadio Buendía and Ursula Iguarán. Their story kind of sets the stage for everything, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. They're cousins. And that marriage kicks things off with this sense of dread, the family curse,
The pig's tail.
Exactly. The fear of having a child with a pig's tail. It's this mix of, love and fear that makes them run, and that leads them to found Macondo.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Is the town itself kind of doomed from the start because of what they were fleeing?
That's a great question. And Macondo, initially, it feels like this perfect, untouched place, really isolated.
A clean slate, almost.
Yeah.
But that isolation doesn't hold.
No, not at all. It's fragile, that initial paradise. And José Arcadio Buendía, his intense curiosity, his need to figure things out with, science, that's the first crack.
That's what starts pulling Macondo out of his shell.
Right. Which then leads to Melquiades showing up.
Melquiades, he just arrives with these wonders, ice, magnets, things that just blow everyone's minds in Macondo.
Yeah, it's like the outside world suddenly crashes in, but through these almost magical objects.
How they even react to something like ice?
Well, it's total wonder at first, maybe confusion, but these things, they're the first real link to the world beyond. They hint at possibility, but maybe also disruption.
Like, is progress always good? Does it cost you something?
That's the underlying tension, I think. And then, the Buendía family starts growing.
And you see this pattern emerge, right? The kids, the grandkids, they inherit these really strong traits. Good ones and, not so good ones.
Yeah, the inheritance thing is huge. It feels like destiny is baked into their bloodline almost.
It really plays into that cyclical idea we mentioned. The past just keeps echoing.
Absolutely. Are they free agents or just repeating patterns? It's a constant question.
And as the family tree branches out, Macondo itself opens up more. It can't stay hidden forever.
No. The outside world finds it, progress arrives, or what looks like progress anyway.
The railroad comes through. And then the banana company. That's a massive shift.
Oh, huge. That's when Macondo really gets pulled into the wider world.
Yeah.
And it's complicated. There's promise, sure, but also corruption, exploitation, political problems.
Yeah, the dark side of that progress becomes pretty clear. Okay, let's zoom in on some of the key people here because their stories are just, wow, sometimes bizarre. José Arcadio Buendía, the founder, his quest for knowledge goes pretty far.
It really does. It consumes him. He ends up sort of losing touch with everyday reality.
And then he's tied to the chestnut tree. That image is unforgettable.
Such a powerful symbol, like the danger of obsession, the line between genius and madness. It's all there.
And counterbalancing him in a way is Ursula Iguarán, the matriarch.
Yeah.
She just endures.
He's incredible, the absolute rock of the family for, over a century?
Yeah.
Her resilience is off the charts.
She holds everything together amidst all the chaos. Her long life itself feels like a statement.
It does. She's like living history, though you could maybe argue her sticking to tradition also keeps them stuck in certain ways.
Interesting point. Then Colonel Aureliano Buendía, a legend but a tragic one.
32 uprisings, and he loses every single one.
And the 17 sons, all named Aureliano, all killed. It's almost mythic.
Yeah, it speaks volumes about maybe the futility of endless conflict, how war can just become this cycle. You see that echoed in real history, too.
And his lonely death, back by that same chestnut tree where his father was tied.
Right, that repetition again. It's inescapable.
Okay, and then there's Remedios, the beauty. Her beauty literally kills men.
Yes. It's like she's too pure, too ethereal for the world. It causes these, fatal accidents around.
Their ending. ascending to heaven while doing laundry.
I mean, that's pure Garcia Marquez, pure magical realism. It's not just strange, it suggests there are things beyond our normal understanding, maybe, a different kind of reality.
The story gets much heavier, though, with Jose Arcadio II.
The banana company strike. He becomes a leader for the workers.
And then witnesses that absolutely horrific massacre.
Which is then just denied, erased from official history. It's brutal.
It really shows how easily truth can be buried, how power shapes the narrative.
And his isolation afterwards because no one believes him? It's devastating. He carries this truth alone.
And speaking of devastating, Meme and Mauricio Babylonia.
Oh, that story is just heartbreaking. Their love affair.
Marked by those yellow butterflies everywhere.
Yeah, such a beautiful, iconic symbol. But then her mother, Fernanda, just crushes it. So cruel. Mauricio ends up paralyzed.
It's a stark look at how family control, social pressure, can just destroy something beautiful and innocent. The butterflies become this symbol of what's lost.
Tragically lost. Which then leads, generations later, to the final couple.
Aureliano Babylonia and Amaranta Ursula, and their relationship.
It brings everything full circle. They fall in love, not realizing they're aunt and nephew.
And the child is born.
With the pig's tail. The curse, feared for generations, finally manifests. It's the end of the line, brought about by repeating those same fatal patterns.
All these incredible, intense lives, they all seem to feed into these larger themes. Solitude, for one. It feels like almost every Buendía is profoundly alone, somehow.
Yeah, it's striking, isn't it? Even surrounded by family, there's this deep isolation. Maybe it's about an inability to truly connect. Or maybe it reflects something broader about Latin American history or just the human condition.
Makes you wonder if real connection is even possible in their world.
Right. And then there's that sense of time we keep mentioning. It's not straight, it's cyclical.
Things just keep happening again. Names repeat. Events echo.
Exactly. It feels like they're trapped in this loop. It really makes you question progress. Are we doomed to repeat mistakes? The wars, the economic booms and busts in Macondo, It all feels like a cycle.
And we have to talk more about the magical realism itself. It's not just random fantasy elements thrown in, is it?
No, not at all. It's woven into the fabric of reality in Macondo. Ghosts, miracles, the pig's tail. It's presented as perfectly normal within that world.
So what's the point of it, do you think?
Well, I think it does a few things. It can highlight the strangeness already present in reality. It taps into myths, folklore, a non-Western way of seeing things, maybe. And it challenges our assumptions about what's possible, what's real.
It lets him explore truths that maybe a purely realistic style couldn't.
I think so. Like with the insomnia plague, that's such a strange, powerful part of the book.
Where everyone forgets everything, they have to label objects just to remember what they are.
Yeah. It's terrifying, really. It speaks directly to how fragile memory is, both for individuals and for a whole community.
And how easily the past can just vanish or be deliberately wiped away.
Right. What happens when a society loses its memory? It's a crucial question.
And tied into that maybe is the banana company. It arrives promising progress, but
it ends up being incredibly destructive. Exploitation, violence, environmental damage. It's a pretty sharp critique of that kind of unchecked modernization, especially when it's driven by outside forces.
Suggests progress isn't always progress, or at least comes at a very high cost.
Definitely. And Garcia Marquez uses specific literary tools to make all this land, the hyperbole, for instance.
Yeah, like Colonel Aureliano's 32 Wars or Ursula living for well over 100 years. It's exaggerated, but memorable.
It gives the story this epic, almost mythical feel. It magnifies the impact.
And the symbols are everywhere. We mentioned the butterflies.
And the chestnut tree linked to madness, isolation, being rooted, and the pig's tail, obviously the curse made real. They all add layers of meaning.
There are also hints of biblical stories, right? Like the flood, the massacre.
Yes, those allusions give Macondo's story this timeless quality. Like these cycles of creation and destruction are ancient, universal patterns.
And underpinning it all is just the writing itself. It's so rich.
Oh, absolutely. Lyrical, evocative, sensory. It pulls you into that world where magic and reality just coexist. That's key to the whole experience.
So the story culminates with Aureliano Babylonia, the last Aureliano. He finally cracks Melchiades' prophecies.
Right. These parchments written in Sanskrit that no one could figure out for generations.
And what do they contain?
The entire history of the family of Macondo, written down before it even happened. It reveals that their lives, all the chaos and passion, followed this predetermined script.
Wow. So destiny was real for them.
It seems so. And just as he finishes reading, understanding it all.
The hurricane hits.
Yeah. A wind that literally wipes Macondo and the last Buendía off the face of the earth, obliterates everything.
Such a final, definitive ending. No trace left.
It underscores that idea of cycles ending, of impermanence. Even this incredible century-long saga just vanishes. It leaves you thinking about history, memory, oblivion.
So if we're wrapping up this deep dive, the big takeaways seem to be, well, that cyclical nature of time and history, the inescapable solitude.
Right. And the power of magical realism, not just as a style, but as a way to get at deeper truths about life, about culture.
And the critique of progress, the warning about forgetting the past.
Absolutely. Garcia Marquez weaves all that together into something that feels specific to Latin America, but also speaks to everyone. Love, loss, ambition, family, time. It's all in there.
So as you, the listener, think about Macondo and the Buendias, maybe consider, what cycles do you see playing out in your own life, maybe, or in the world around you?
Yeah, and how do you make sense of the weird, the magical, the things that don't quite fit alongside the everyday stuff?
And maybe most importantly, what memories, what stories, personal ones, family ones, collective ones, feel essential to hold on to? Why do they matter?
100 Years of Solitude, even as it ends in destruction, it really leaves you with these huge questions about being human and about how stories shape our reality. They definitely stick with you.